You and I are sharing a mic.
Is anybody a really good reader? Is anybody a really good reader, sight reader?
Can I do it?
Okay.
Whatever
So
it is.
I'm gonna do the first. I'm gonna do the first one, and then I'll pass. I'm gonna do the junior cantors this time, okay? Because they gotta have extra responsibility. So you'll do reading number. Actually, let's do. You do reading number 1. No, I'll do reading number 1. You're 2. You're 3, and then back to me for 4. Okay.
They all went well except Spanish algebra. Because we're going to ask you guys today.
Yep.
Oh, okay, must be my.
I
I got a 100 on my
I got a
training
100%.
plan. I got a 100 on my.
Did you get my text? My happy birthday text?
Yes. Did you get mine? It's really bad.
Okay. So you're gonna pass. You got you do mama left.
Is it on now?
Yes.
That was me.
So you'll
This is the photo I sent you.
Hello.
Hello.
No, I don't think it'll work.
Oh,
Because ours
that's
has it.
not so good. Oh no, it doesn't fit here. The table, it's broken. It's broken today. Our entire class today.
Do you
my
watch that
entire
TikTok?
teaching and training class today just out of the blue goes, oh no, the table, it's broken. And I literally wanted to die. It was so embarrassing. Please don't take
Oh
me
yeah, I
down.
remember. I was doing something on
Where
we're
is your
making
mom?
stuff and then
Where's Cassie?
my friend was like,
Magnolia,
"Oh
where's
no,
Cassidy?
our table, it's broken."
What moms do.
Is there gonna be any more readings other than this part that we're starting with?
Yeah, I might give you something. We'll see.
I love I chopped off 3 inches. That's what I'm making.
All right, where's Marty?
Yeah, things that stuck to the crayon.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Can you help me?
Do you girls need cue sheets?
Sure.
I think we're good.
I mean, I don't know.
Magnolia.
What are we singing? Oh, we all know it by heart.
You want to pass?
What are we singing? I'm sure I'll know, but what are we singing? It's right here. Miha Mocha. Adonai. Okay. It's all the stuff we've learned. Yeah, I know 'em. Yeah. Okay. Do we just put it on the thing? Yeah. Okay, just put it there. I know all those songs. I have no need to really. I just want to know which one we're singing.
Yeah, I think you should do it now.
I'm in cheer now, so I have to know. I'm gonna point this up. Just a little bit. Okay, now it is.
Cantor, can we see Rabbi's vignettes?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I don't want to get them out of order.
What happened to your mic with the spectacles?
Yeah.
It broke.
Oh
All right, all right.
The mama made me mash my M&M's.
Where's Kinley?
Okay, we should be live now.
Is her mic even plugged in?
Hello.
Yeah, it is.
Start
Because
now?
it's Bluetooth.
I don't think I need my.
Oh, you do for the live stream.
Is her mic plugged?
So the reason you can't, it is. The reason you can't, are all the mics on? Okay. The reason you can't is because I did the
It
end
is on. I'm Kimmy.
Good Shabbos. Welcome.
Shabbos.
Thanks very coming tonight. I just got a real quick list of announcements. We have a special service schedule coming up. The final 2 services of the year, December 24th and December 31st, Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, will be 100% virtual, and links for both services will be on CNT website. Services will start at 7. Religious school is on winter break and will resume January 9. We are pleased to announce our congregants of the year are Doctors Fred Toffel and David Miller in honor of all their work on our COVID committee. Our congregant of the year service and dinner will be on January 14th. It includes all our new members, both from 2020 2020 and 2021 as well. More information can be found on the CNT website. And finally, the Sisterhood will hold their annual Tu B'Shvat celebration, the Jewish New Year of the Trees, on Thursday evening, January 13th. A delicious catered vegetarian dinner will be served featuring 7 varieties of food that are mentioned in the Torah. RSVPs are a must, and the deadline is Monday, January 3. Your check for $22 is your reservation. Please see the CNT website. Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.
Thank you, Barney. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
I'll do our welcome in a moment. First, let's get in the zone by sharing our voices in song. I want to hear everybody pray, not just somebody, but everybody. And if you're watching us on the live stream, welcome. We want you to join in with us as well. So if there is something you want to see or feel in the world, maybe hear it, you can put it in the chat now. I want to hear somebody pray.
I want to hear somebody pray. Down in the valley and over yonder, I want to hear somebody pray. I want to hear somebody sing. I want to hear somebody sing. Down in the valley and over yonder, I want to hear somebody sing.
All right, what do you want to see or hear or feel in the world around you? Love. I want to feel somebody's love.
I want to feel somebody's love. I want to feel somebody's love. Down in the valley and over yonder, I want to feel somebody's love.
All right, anyone else? I know our Sheer Heart have some good ones. Anybody in our congregation? No? Oh, Cassie has one. Rest. I want to feel some rest.
I want to feel some rest. Down in the valley and over yonder, I want to feel some
rest. Let's do one more. We're quiet on the live stream tonight. Oh, God. Okay. Delaney, go ahead. Okay, Delaney and Maya want to yeehaw every time. All right, I'm going to let you guys do it. Here we go.
I want to hear somebody yeehaw! I want to hear somebody yeehaw! Down in the valley and over yonder, I want to hear somebody yeehaw!
All right, well, we're going to bring it back down now. And I want to welcome you all to a special Shabbat in the round. They're all special, but this one's our last one of the 2021 year. And yay, we did it to everyone who has just finished their first semester of the year in school. Today is officially now winter break. That's so exciting. You said you wanted to be back in person, and now you are. I bet you're all tired now. So we're all glad that you're here, and we're excited for a little bit of rest and relaxation. Hopefully you'll get that. I also want to give a shout out for Refuah Shlema to Rabbi Axelrod, who has a little stomach bug. And I want to thank all of our musicians who are here tonight, our Sheer Heart singers, and I'll introduce John and Brett again at the end of the service. One more announcement that is very important, that didn't make the announcements, but I'll say it a couple of times. We are trying to save Camp Anytown, which is a really cool organization that helps underprivileged youth. And the only way to save it is if we have 55 more license plates that are sold before the end of 2021. And they are special license plates that are with the golden rule. So love your neighbor as yourself. And so I am challenging people to join me, because one of the inconvenient things is you have to go down to the DMV to change your license plate. So if you want to join me on Monday morning, I'm going to go down to the DMV and change mine. So if you want to join me there, I'll be probably with Emmett if you want to see him. And let's change our license plates and help change the world. All right? Sound good? I'll mention it again just in case you forget. I want to hear somebody pray. I want to hear somebody pray.
I want to hear somebody pray. Down in the valley and over yonder, I want to hear somebody pray.
How good it is to be together. So we are about to bring in the light of Shabbat. We're going to begin singing special words that lead into our prayer. And our honorees tonight are a very special birthday. Magnolia and Cassidy Wertheimer have, there's got to be a name for it when a mother and a daughter have the same birthday, which was yesterday.
A blessing.
It's splitting cake. No, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty magical. So in honor of them both becoming a year older yesterday, they will light the Shabbat candles together. How about one for each of you? Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. We light the lights of Shabbat. Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. The hardly near shall Shabbat. Shabbat, Shalom. May you have a peaceful day. Shabbat, Shalom. May you have a restful day. Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. We light the lights of Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu. L'hadligner shel Shabbat, l'hadligner shel Shabbat. Shalom Aleinu Malachei Shalom Malachei Shalom Mimelech Malachei Abraham HaKadosh Baruch Hu Malachei Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Shalom Mimelech
Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Seichem LeShalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shalom Aleichem Shalom Aleichem Shalom Aleichem Shalom Aleichem.
All right, sheer heart, give him a hum. All right, a little technical thing. Somebody posted in our chat that they can't hear me. So if that's true, somebody else post that, and then we'll send someone to get Alex. But I think I'm coming out okay, because I see the subtitles, so I think I'm able to be heard. You can hear me in the room, yes? Yeah. Okay, good. All right, okay.
You should be here.
All right, and we want to give another shout out to the composer of our last piece, Shalom Aleichem, Joe Buchanan, who I was supposed to be the MC of one of his concerts on Sunday night, but he is under the weather too, so hopefully he'll have a refuah shlema. The Little Boy Who Didn't Want Anything Jewish by Gordon Cohn. Once upon a time, long ago, in hard times and the middle of winter, in a small corner of a very great city, a son was born to two very simple Jewish people. Their names were not Mary and Joseph, though they might just as well have been, since they regarded their son just as Mary and Joseph regarded little Jesus. And so did the child's grandparents and their friends, and all manner of aunts and uncles and people of the neighborhood. At Hanukkah, when the boy was only 1 year old, everyone discovered that there was something wrong with him. He was beautiful in appearance with blonde hair and fair skin, and he played nicely with other children and talked before it was expected of him, but there was just something off. The grandfather, a short, round man with a very hearty laugh that year, because of the Christmas season, had been very good to him, had just lit the shamus and was preparing to light the first Hanukkah candle when the little boy stuck out his tongue and gave a Bronx cheer. He repeated that the next night, and again when the third candle was lit. During the day, he played nicely and ate what was given to him and napped without disturbing anyone. But in the evening, when the menorah was brought out, he stuck out his tongue and made ugly noises and tried to knock over the menorah. When Hanukkah passed, the boy was all right again, and everyone thought that perhaps he had some disturbance, some illness without fever, which had caused him to behave strangely. But soon it was forgotten, and everyone loved him as before. Then Purim came, and time to read the story of Esther. And the little boy threw soup on his family's Megillah and made it impossible to read. And when Passover arrived, the little boy's grandmother tried to cleanse the house of all bread and change dishes. He went to the pantry and climbed up and dropped all the Passover dishes on the pantry floor and put matzah in the toilet. And when the Seder began, he spilled his Uncle Henry's wine on the tablecloth. Jewald, the little boy's grandmother, cried, "What are you doing?" And his mother, who loved him but could not understand his behavior, said, "Tell us why you were doing this." And she cried a great deal because of what her little son, her angel, had done. But the little boy, after all, was just too young to explain himself. It seemed all that he wanted to do was make a mess of these special days, but no one could tell why. We rise for the Baruch Hu.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
Please be seated. We continue with the Ve'ahavta, led by our junior cantors.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברתם בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושכבך וקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי ואתם קדושים אלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתיכם מארץ מצרים להיות להם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
And so the little boy's early years.
Use a different one.
And so the little boy's early years passed, happy and smiling, except on days like Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, when during the most serious and important services he would begin to cry or scream or pull the old men's beards and tear up the prayer books and do all kinds of naughty things. And no one knew why. But still, his parents and his grandparents loved him, and many aunts and uncles and cousins, and even some of the neighbors and people upstairs in his apartment building. For he was a kind and gentle boy who only had one peculiarity, and after all, who is not strange in some way. Then, when he was 11 years old and it was Hanukkah time again, on the afternoon of the day which his grandfather would light the first candle, he took the box of candles and threw them in a neighbor's garbage can, so they could not be found. And when it was dark and everyone was ready to say the prayer welcoming Hanukkah, the boy stood up and said, "There are no candles, and so you can't light them. I don't want them here. I don't want Hanukkah, and I don't want Passover, and I don't want Purim or Yom Kippur. I don't want religious school, and I don't want a bar mitzvah, and I don't want anything Jewish." And he ran down the hall crying and locked himself in the bathroom. His father said that perhaps when he was born, the nurses had switched babies, and perhaps he was a Christian child, and his mother sat on the couch whimpering and wondering what she had done wrong. The grandmother slipped chewing gum under the door to the boy and told him not to worry. And the grandfather, he took a walk.
Adonai, who is like you?
But late that night, when everyone was asleep and the empty menorah was back on the mantelpiece, the grandfather awoke and tiptoed to the boy's room and awakened him, and helped him dress and quietly took him out of the house. The grandfather and the boy took a long walk. It was snowing and cold, but they were bundled and warm, and it made them feel good to hear the snow crush under their shoes. The grandfather said to the boy, "I'm not going to ask you why you don't want Hanukkah or why you don't want to do any of the holy holidays. I'm just going to say that I know of many, many young boys, even some young girls, who don't want to be Jewish. There are many reasons, and I'm sure I could guess some of them. Maybe I could even guess yours, but I will not. I will say to you only that one day, if you are the boy I think you are, And if you keep your eyes open and your ears open, and you pay attention to life and everything around you, your school and nature and your family and friends, then perhaps one day you may wish to be Jewish. Now that's enough. We will have a hot chocolate with whipped cream. And they went to the place with grandfather, knew, and had hot chocolate with no skin on top. Not long after, the grandfather, who was an old man, died, and then the grandmother, who was also old, died too. Uncle Fievel died, and cousin Rebecca, and the dog Pushkin and Mrs. Granowitz upstairs, and finally the boy's father, who died by surprise before it was expected. By the time the boy was grown, tall and thin and handsome, and he was in college and studying to be a mensch, which is very special profession, only open to a few. The first thing required of the boy before he could become a mensch was that he study music of old times and music of today, and the lives of people who had lived long ago, and the fun in their lives, and all the sad parts, and their paintings and carvings, and what they believed and what they did not believe. When they had finished the first part of what it takes to become a mensch, he began the second part, which is to get married. He found a nice girl and told her who he was and how he behaved very strangely on Hanukkah and Yom Kippur and the other holy days. And she said she was strange too, sometimes. She liked to slam doors and sleep 12 hours a day and not ride bikes, and so they got married. She let him not be too Jewish, and he let her sleep late and slam doors and did not ride bikes, and they were happy. Then the boy, who was now a young man, became a father, not once, but twice, one boy and one girl. He was told that no mensch has more than 2 children in a crowded world. And the days passed very quickly, and the boy, who was now a man, passed them without Hanukkah or Rosh Hashanah or Sukkot. He was very busy, and he did not miss them.
We prayed to God to lie us down to sleep tonight with peace and comfort in our hearts and wake us up in the morning with a new, refreshed outlook on life.
Eloheinu v'shalom, v'halikneinu shomreinu l'chaim, l'chaim, ufros לחיים, לחיים, ופרוס עלינו סוכת, סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת, סוכת שלומך,
So we come to the part of our service where we will rise in admiration for the beautiful things in our life, where we traditionally ask God, Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my mouth, that my heart, so that my mouth can declare your praise. And this is a pivotal part of the service where we join together with everyone that is surrounding us, both in person and virtually. And for Shabbat in the Round, we add our heartfelt prayers, our personal prayers. Adonai, love me. Adonai, care for me. Adonai, comfort me, etc., etc. So I ask you in this room and online, what are you in need of tonight? As we begin our prayer, we'll go around and you can say what that is, that verb that is in your heart right now. Adonai, love me. And when we complete this part of it's our introductory to the Amidah, we'll rise using the words on the page or the words within our hearts, facing the ark. And when we have completed our prayers, we can sit down. Adonai, love me, Adonai, love me, Adonai, love me, please love me, Adonai. Adonai, guide me, Adonai, guide me, Adonai, guide me, please guide me, Adonai. We move away from the page and we ask you, what do you need tonight, lady? Spirit. Adonai, fill me with spirit, Adonai, fill me with spirit, Adonai, fill me with spirit, please fill me with spirit, Adonai. Like as a cheerleader, right? Like rah rah. Okay, Bella, good.
Teach me.
Teach me.
Adonai, teach me, Adonai, teach me, Adonai, teach me, please teach me, Adonai.
From our live stream, Hold Me.
Adonai, hold me, Adonai, hold me, Adonai, hold me, please hold me, Adonai.
All right, Kinley. Was it? No. Okay. Hug. Everyone's in need of like a hug, comfort, hold. Okay.
Adonai, hug me, Adonai, hug me, Adonai, hug me, please hug me, Adonai.
Maybe it's because it's cold outside and like we just want some warmth. Yeah.
Warm me up.
All right, did you think of one?
Bring
You
warm.
want to tell me?
Just do bring warm.
Help me heal? Is that you said heal or feel? Okay, help me feel. Okay.
Adonai, help me feel, feel Adonai.
One last one from our online community. Comfort. Adonai, comfort me, Adonai, comfort me, Adonai,
Comfort me,
please comfort me,
Adonai.
We rise for our Amidah prayer, and I'm wondering, where'd he go? I was going to ask Julian to lead us since his bar mitzvah is coming up. Did he leave? Okay. All right, so we'll continue silently in our prayers using the words on the page or the words within our hearts. And when you've completed your private prayer, please be seated. Adonai, love me, Adonai,
Love me, Adonai. Love me, please love me, Adonai.
Yehiyu leratzonim refim, Begyon libi lefanecha. Yehiyu leratzonim refim, Begyon libi lefanecha. Adonai, my rock, Adonai, my rock, you rescue me. Adonai, Turi, Adonai, Turi, Adonai, Turi, Vego Ali. This time we think of those who are in the bed of illness, those who are struggling physically with mental illness, with drug abuse, alcohol abuse, anyone that is in need of healing prayer. If there are names of those you are thinking of and you're on our live stream, please submit those names now. The names submitted to our office: Bessie De La Malera, Josefa Deutsch, Luis Rochford Gould, Miriam Meltzer, Nori DeWitt, David Tarantino, Bob Unger. And we'll look around the room as well if there are names of people you are thinking of. Go ahead, Paul.
Luis Henrique Cabota.
Diane Kay, Matthew Oakley. There are so many. We hold them in our hearts now for our Misha Berach prayer. I'm going to let the junior cantors and cheer heart take over on this one.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekol Avraham Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor Abraham Niavotenu. With those in need of healing, with refuah Shema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say
And then one day, again at Hanukkah time, when a bright sun appeared after 3 days of steady heavy rain and everything seemed scrubbed, the boy took a walk along the beach with his wife and children. He looked at the ocean and thought of how those same waters had flowed against the shore for thousands of years. He thought about how beautiful it was that the sun always came out after a rain. He thought how amazing it was that the boy skipping stones in the ocean was his son, and the girl with the cotton candy was his daughter. He thought that if his grandfather had not come to America from a land far away, he might be looking at a different ocean, or no ocean, or he might not even be at all. That night, he read some old letters from his grandfather, and then he read a story about Jewish people in Europe 100 years ago. The next morning, he went back to work. But he found that at night, when his work was finished, and he was watching television or playing with his children or admiring his wife, he was thinking more and more about how he had come to be a mensch and of all the people who had helped him from the time he was a boy. And most of them, who were Jewish, lit candles on Hanukkah, and they worshiped quietly at other times, some even every Saturday. And he read that people who were Jewish were doing the same things now that other Jewish people had done for hundreds and hundreds of years, and some of the things for thousands. And it seemed wrong that if he were Jewish, and Jewish people had done certain things for so long, that he should stop doing them too. So he began doing Jewish things, even though he wasn't sure why he was doing them, and he found that they were enjoyable, and it made him feel that the Jewish people who lived long ago and walked around without ties and permanent press were his friends and brothers. And he read about them and came to know them. And one day, after he had read a lot of books and looked at nature and his friends and his wife and his son and daughter, he drove to the cemetery where his grandfather was buried. His grandfather was buried straight down the line from the second telephone pole at the side of the road as you drove up the hill. And when he found the grave of his grandfather and saw the name, he stood there for a moment remembering his grandfather and Uncle Fievel and his grandmother and the dog Pushkin and his father, and he said, "I think I'm ready to be Jewish now." He stood there for a minute more and drove to a place he knew and ordered 2 hot chocolates with whipped cream. He drank only one, and then he went home. There's a lot to unpack in that story. I'll let it marinate with you for a little while. It's up to us to call ourselves to task, to sing what's good and true. to bring about redemption. It's what we were freed to do. For what's the point of being here if we're not moved to change our ways? Alleluia, Shabbat. It's time to live our praise. We are carrying the stories of the ones who came before. What stories will be told of us when we are here no more? We commit ourselves to action. It brings meaning to our days.
Alleluia, Shabbat.
It's time to live our praise. It's up to us.
Ourselves to task to sing that's good and true. Redemption is what we were free to do. What's the point of being here? We're not moved to change our ways.
Alleluia, Shabbat. It's time to save our praise.
Alleluia, Shabbat. It's
time to live our praise.
We rise for the Aleinu. Vanachnu korim umishtachavim umordim lifnei melech malachim hakadosh baruch hu. Please be seated. If you are thinking of someone who has recently passed away, or it's the anniversary of their yortzeit, of their passing, or you're just thinking of them and you need a little bit of Kaddish to help you in that memory, now is the time to submit those names in the chat and prepare to read them aloud here in this room. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy, will reap in joy. Those who sow
in tears will reap in joy.
It's the song of dreamers. From the dark place it grows, like a flower in the desert, the oasis of our souls. Come back where you belong. You and we are loving Christ. Our mouths, our lips are filled with song. You can see it from our tear-filled eyes.
Those who sow in tears
Will reap in joy.
will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears
Will reap.
will reap in joy.
We say Kaddish for Irene Fisher, Dolores Starr, and Yortzites for Julius Akroff, Jenny Aronoff, Manny E. Aronofsky, Sam Blatstein, Irving Chasnick, Eli Cohen, Solomon Doctors, Mazer Donald, Benjamin Dvorak, Esther Dvorak, Felix Einson, Henrik Eisenberg, Anne Frank, Joseph R. Genovitz, Louis Gorlick, Louis Gottlieb, Florence Gross, my grandmother, Sandy Heyman, Bernard Hutzel, Janice Judman, Molly Kallick, Fanny Katz, Florence Laser, Hugo Lieberman, Arthur Liebert, Vivian Klein Markowitz, Dana Marshall Bernstein, Joanne Moriello, Rose Miller, Gladys Miller, Lawrence Mushkin, Minna Myers, Irving Naftalin, Adele Nathan, Betty Nathan, Walter Nathan, Marilyn Osher, Sophia Palbaum, Dorothy Perlman, Lawrence Ratner, Herman Roberg, Beatrice Rogers, Arnold Ruttenberg, Miriam Shiroff, Raymond Spector, Herb Spivak, Mariel Stevens, Panina Ventura, Lillian Zvern. If there are names of those you are remembering tonight, please rise and say their names. Don and Faye Feldman. Ron Saul, Lucille Heil, Philip Saul. We think of all those and all those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, and we rise together in our prayer. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam l'almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal Shemei dekudsha b'richu, La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, dami ran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. O say shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, amen. Please be seated. Those who sow in tears
will reap in joy.
I want to thank all of our musicians in the round tonight. I'll start on my right, which is Glory, our backup vocalist, and our other backup vocalists. We have Kinley and Bella, Magnolia, and Maya, and Delaney, and Hannah tonight. And Hannah will be joining the Sheerheart crew. And we have our amazing musicians on guitar. We have John, and on percussion we have Brett. We are so grateful for them, for without all of these wonderful people and the beautiful music that they bring, we couldn't deliver a service that is so special and so very CNT. So we are grateful to all of you. And again, if you want to go to the DMV on Monday, I know it's at the top of your list. You can, 9 a.m. is what we're saying. So 9 a.m. I'm assuming I'm going to go to the one on Stephanie. I think it's the closest one to my house, and probably most of our homes. So if you want to stand in line with me and get your license plate changed out for the Golden Rule and help to save Camp Anytown, please do so. And also comment, I put it on Facebook, so comment on it and say, I'm coming, or I'm going to my local DMV, or I can't go that day, but I'm doing it, so that everybody can get excited about making this happen before the end of the year. Okay, so I'm sure there's more announcements. Again, don't come on Sunday, because we won't be here. You can have Hebrew school by yourself, but the doors will be locked. And we'll see you again on January 9th. And we have to say our Kiddush and Motzi. So thank you everyone on the live stream for being here. Thank you to everyone who made tonight possible, our Shamus Dell, Alex on sound, and Lee, who always sets everything up so beautifully. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. I have to admit, Paul, when you were giving me the watch, I thought I was like running over on time. I didn't know what that meant. All right, so thank you all again. We're going to conclude with the song of peace. May the one who brings peace on earth bring peace in the high heavens, bring peace down to us here on earth.
Oh, say shalom. Be Roma. Oh, say shalom. Be Roma. Ooh-yah, say, ooh-yah, say, ooh-yah, say shalom. Ooh-yah, say, ooh-yah, say, ooh-yah, say shalom. Ooh-yah, say, ooh-yah, say, ooh-yah, say shalom. Alleluia. 1, 2, 3, 4. May the one who brings peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who brings peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who brings peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who brings peace bring peace down, bring peace down.
Oh, say shalom. Be Roma. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Minyan in the morning on Zoom, and Torah study on Zoom, and the class after on Zoom. And have a wonderful and peaceful Shabbat. What are you going to do with that story? Oh, go ahead.
I don't want the York site list. All right, I'm missing pages. I'm not telling. All of us. Doesn't it? Haven't you ever?
I saw your outfit, and I thought Tracy whatever her name is from Hairspray, just because of the sleeves. I love the sleeves. We'll talk about that. And like kind of the puffy hair. I think Tracy. Okay, so have fun.
Stand up by themselves.
We can't because we love it. I'm doing what?
I stole it from my mom without asking.
Uh-oh. She has enough.
It's okay.
You know what? It's a compliment to her.